Hey everybody, have you heard about the Drunken Peasants Patreon? It helps support the show while getting you some cool perks. Check it out! For $1 per month, you get to use our exclusive fan chat that appears at the bottom of the screen on every episode. For $5 per month, you get 2 new private shows, including Actual Mania, as well as our back catalog of private shows, plus all lower tier perks. For $10 per month, you get all of our monthly video content. This includes multiple post shows, our monthly reviews, our back catalog of all that content, plus all lower tier perks. For $15 per month, your name will appear in the ending credits of each DP episode, plus all lower tier perks. For $25 per month, you get to take part in our monthly booking committee hangout to help us book our Patreon content for that month, plus all lower tier perks. For $33 per month, you get an exclusive piece of DP merch each month, plus all lower tier perks. For $50 per month, you appear in the opening credits for each DP episode, plus all lower tier perks. For $100 per month, you get to join us as a guest on an episode of the Drunken Peasants podcast. Plus, you guessed it, all lower tier perks. Visit patreon.com/DP now to become a patron of the Drunken Peasants podcast.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants podcast.
I gotta get a witness.
No! Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
That's true. Sometimes I cry.
Oh!
Lick my butthole, he laughed.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken Peasants.
Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, whatever.
Do it live!
There's, it could be any time for any of you. I don't know. But it's morning for me. It's morning for me. Welcome. We're going to continue last night's stream because I didn't quite meet the goal last night, and it wasn't that late. It was around 10 p.m. here, but we didn't meet the goal, but I was feeling tired, so I was like, I'll just come back, and we'll try to get it going today. So here we are in the morning. Please like the stream, and yeah, it's my birthday in 2 days. I would be so grateful if those of you out there could assist me in meeting this goal. We'll take the time it takes to get it met, but it's right there. It's pinned at the top of the chat. Thank you so much. And we are going to check out some random stuff that I have here. We're going to watch this weird Jared conspiracy theory video where he says this card game predicted 9/11. I don't know. I guess we'll check it out, but it's going to be crazy. I think we're going to get straight up. Actually, no, let me play. Someone made another King Cobra sitcom intro, but they used the Growing Pains theme music for it. Here it is. They're using the exact same font, which is pretty cool. Look at this. Oh, Clint was kind of struggling for a second there. There's Ozzy.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you so much. There we go. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, we're less than $100 away from the goal, so I know we can hit it. Executive producer Clint Saunders. Is he the executive producer? I guess so. They didn't finish the whole song in the video. I wish they would have gotten to the ending because there was only one more line left in the song. And they could have, because, yeah, it was done pretty well. I enjoyed it. Just have a few very specific things I would have changed or done differently, but it was great. All right, so let's check out Jared. All right, so Jared's gonna run us through this conspiracy theory that I've never heard of before. Let's see.
All right, you guys, Illuminati card game. Let's check it out. Time to get red pilled, y'all.
It's like Jared's TED Talk. Okay, I always like to check out his tabs. What does he? He doesn't have Zillow open anymore. I think someone told him that people noticed that he, because he had Zillow open like he was apartment hunting or something. I see a bunch of tabs though. Discord. There's the emulator site that he uses, Amazon, some more emulator sites, Netflix, plenty of fish. So he's still trolling the dating sites. I wonder if he does the same stuff on these dating sites that he does on Twitter, where he's just like randomly DMing everybody.
And before I start, I just wanted to say this game was made in 1994, okay?
No, I've never heard of Illuminati card game. I was never into card games. I didn't play Magic or anything like that. But it's like, to be like, oh, terrorists will attack a building someday. I mean, they already had, just not on that type of scale. So to say that there was a game where there was a terrorist attack, that's not predicting anything, because terrorist attacks had happened before 1994. So this is not some weird thing that was slowly leaked to the public in this obscure card game.
It predicted a lot of shit that you're about to see. So I just ask that you guys keep an open mind. So without further ado, let's get started.
Okay.
A plane has crashed into the World Trade Center. We don't know.
But that's not okay. The card doesn't say terrorist crash plane into a building. It says terrorist nuke. It says nothing about a plane. And these buildings don't really look that much like the World Trade Center buildings. Not really. I mean, they are rectangular, but it's too general.
Anything more than that?
The day before 9/11, Donald Rumsfeld reveals that Pentagon is missing trillions of dollars.
Yes, there was a bombing of the World Trade Center in 93. Yeah. It was like they bombed like the lower level of it.
That cannot be accounted for.
We cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions.
Interesting.
To understand how the Pentagon can lose track of trillions.
Okay, and now they're just adding, what does any of this have to do with the card game?
From my close-up inspection, there's no evidence of a plane having crashed anywhere near the Pentagon.
Oh my goodness. There is smoke pouring out of the Pentagon.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a primary target, wouldn't it? And that's why it was.
There was evidence.
Line at the Exxon here, they still have regular
energy crisis. There we go, folks.
Is going through the intersection.
Terror will not stand, and the United States is ready to lead that coalition.
I'm not the type to toss and turn.
Now, who is that?
About.
Julian Assange, yeah.
Something.
Is that David Icke?
It's because I'm plotting how to.
Does Jared not even know who that is? Did Jared not know who that was?
Deal.
What is that really about, Alex Jones, is it? It's about the idea that companies can make it impossible for your voice to be heard.
Oh my God. Yeah, they predicted Weird Al. They predicted Weird Al. Oh my God. Look at Jared. He's like, man, yeah, I basically made this video, dude.
Could that be Weird Al?
I I don't want to play too much more of this. They're already playing too much of it. Joggers.
I just have to say, sorry to, to make light of this, but I love that song from Weird Al. I've watched it many times. Anyways, let's not get distracted.
Marathon runner Bill Ifrit.
Oh, there you go, guys.
A second explosion.
Ask yourself this question. Could it be a coincidence that it was that specific? There was a card named Joggers.
Maybe if it was like marathon runners, that would have been a little more specific.
Goes off.
The Anti-Defamation League has declared Pepe a hate symbol.
They even predicted Pepe. Like, what in the actual fuck?
The people that chased her into the tunnel were the same people that were taking photographs
Shit
of her
is scary.
while she was
Not
still
really.
dying on the backseat of the car.
It's weird. It is weird that there was an actual Princess Di card.
Bitcoin's historically traded at
there's
2.5
Bitcoin.
times its
Hey.
mining cost, so it's not out of the question that
I mean, Bitcoin didn't come until way later. What does this have to do with anything?
it could be over 20,000 by the end of the year.
Festival in Las Vegas. The deadliest shooting in
Las
U.S.
Vegas
history
shooting, there
happened
it
when
is.
Jason Aldean was performing.
There's been multiple shootings in Las Vegas. Tupac was killed in a shooting in Las Vegas. Shootings in Las Vegas happen. So, I mean, okay.
Fucking Trump.
Charismatic. I mean, depends on who you ask. He's not charismatic for everyone. Only a certain type of person.
And I'm thrilled to be here with all of my friends.
I just wanted to say really quick, I'm not a follower of Donald Trump. I used to be, but then I realized he was another chess piece in the game. So,
okay.
For those of you who are still stuck on this guy, no pun intended.
How is that a pun?
Because he's a Teflon Don. That was a terrible joke. I apologize.
Well, whatever.
You gotta wake up, guys. Okay, he's just a chess piece. He's there to give us false hope. So let's just keep going.
He seems made of Teflon. That what he said
Teflon
about
Don.
John
They
McCain,
actually
what he said,
predicted
it's
his
like,
nickname.
Oh my God.
I mean, the term Teflon has been used before. It just happens to rhyme with Don, so it makes a good headline.
Crazy.
This man going up in
It's
the
not
polls.
that crazy. The term Teflon had predated Trump.
Trump making strides in two
Excuse me.
key swing states. He's now leading in Florida and Pennsylvania, where he trailed almost a month ago.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No, not you. Not you. Your organization's
Big
terrible.
media.
I'm not going to give you a question. You are fake news.
We have to stop with political correctness.
Political correctness.
Enough is enough.
Political correctness has been a thing for a very long time. The term and the idea of political correctness has been around a very long
The
time.
real victim of the allegations.
And I think we all know about the, political correctness going on, don't we, guys?
Against Brett Kavanaugh. Brett Kavanaugh.
Attorney General Barr has shown in the last few months that he's more interested in protecting Donald Trump and not protecting America's interests.
We're standing here at the Supreme Court. The Republicans think they're going to
There you
get
go,
the court
January
to
6th.
reverse Roe versus Wade.
Or no, sorry, that's the abortion thing.
This is a naked man. He was shot
See, you don't even know what you're talking about, Jared. This is ridiculous.
dead on Saturday by police because he was gnawing off another man's face.
The Republican governor who allowed lead to poison the city's water supply will no longer be providing the town with
Look who it
bottled
is.
water. Flint, Michigan doesn't have clean drinking water. It still has lead in it.
Every kid in Flint who drank that water is now at some risk for long-term effects.
And a lot of people tried to stop me.
So, the Illuminati, they did a card game to expose all the stuff they're going to do, and then they did it. Okay. What does this really mean?
And they still
Like
will,
what?
and you know they will. But the truth
Lady
is,
Gaga.
it's not working.
Deprogrammers, because, guys, listen. These so-called
Wow, this video is very long. But Jared's video is only 11 minutes long, so he didn't even watch this whole video. I don't know what this is all about.
stars, they're all just put in place to brainwash the youth. Okay.
81. Oh, by the way, everyone, please like the stream. And if you'd be so kind as to help me get to the goal, which is we're very close. We're less than 100 away from the goal. If you would help out, we'd really appreciate it. Thank you.
That's their main purpose. It's to stupefy the youth. It's to, basically, more or less, just turn them into a bunch of fucking zombies, which is exactly what it's done, sadly.
This alert. Ballistic missile threat inbound to Hawaii. Seek immediate shelter. This is not a drill. And this is a warning that was sent to people's phones.
Lava from Hawaii's Kilauea volcano have also been warned to get out. Those who remain face arrest and the possibility that no one will be there to rescue them.
Say that there were people who actually crossed the border illegally that were associated with the caravan by climbing over a metal scrap wall.
And Liberty Island in New York City is being evacuated now because of a person trying to climb the Statue of Liberty. Hello guys, I'm Mr. Alan C, and you're going to want to subscribe and please drop a thumbs up right now on this video.
Yeah, shout outs to Mr. Alan C. Subscribe to his channel. I'm pretty sure this is the same guy who did that Johnny Bravo video that I showed you guys, as well as The Simpsons. So yeah, he's very based. Be sure and
Oh, he makes like Simpsons Illuminati videos
So I can
too.
share with you these Illuminati cards. We have over 700 of them. They were released by Steve Jackson Games back in 1994 and 1995.
94, guys.
For prior release
Came out in
until the
94.
Secret Service raided Steve Jackson Games offices.
He showed up telling us that his Illuminati BDS and all his other computers had been confiscated. There was a
So those of you who didn't know, yeah, right when this game came out, it was confiscated by the FBI, or I believe the CIA, I'm not quite sure.
Okay, so you don't know. You don't know what you're talking about.
But, yeah, it was, they were not happy about it.
Secret Service. They kept taking their computers that had the files for these. They literally had to sue them to get them back. And there's records of this court case. Also, a lot of these cards seem to predict the future. I'm going to show you several. Well, I'm going to show you all of them, actually. I need you guys to like this video. It's so important. Please leave a comment if you see any cards that predict the future or something going on currently that I missed, because I'm making documentaries about these cards.
Why though?
Not least, when I show you the cards.
Why would they make the card game to expose what they're going to do and name it after themselves? Why not just do the stuff and have a better chance of no one knowing about it? Why would they do this? I don't understand. They never explain why there's all this Illuminati symbolism when it would be a lot easier to just be completely unseen.
Be sure to pause the video and read the card descriptions. It's going to blow your mind, guys. Enjoy. It's so important you hit a thumbs up on this video. Subscribe.
Spy satellite.
Oh no, not satellites, not I mean, like, the idea of having a space station has been around for a very long time. You know? It's like, it'd be like, oh, this movie predicted someday there'd be a moon base. It's like, yeah, there probably will be a moon base someday. Some sort of structure on the moon that people live on temporarily. More than likely, that will be a thing. You can't claim, because it's not like a far-fetched idea. Yeah, we have satellites. Yeah, we have a space station. It's not a crazy prediction. There's all these things that happened in Star Trek that ended up happening later on, that ended up, like, it was science fiction and then it became reality. A lot of the stuff on Star Trek inspired people to make the real life versions of those things. I don't know. It's very strange.
Orbit 1.
Yeah, meteors. Well, like a giant meteor strike, that hasn't happened to any huge degree. But there are small meteors that strike the Earth fairly commonly, you know?
Meteor strike.
Okay.
Count and track.
Oh, yeah! You know what? I'm starting to get convinced that maybe these cards are real and made by the Illuminati. Because there's definitely Count Dracula out there, right?
Dracula. I don't even want to know.
What? Yeah. I was like, what's Jared going to say about this? Because where's Count Dracula? Like, where in the world? Where did the Illuminati bring Count Dracula back to life? I don't know. Yeah, they predicted Count Dracula would kill all those people. Okay.
Feminists.
Feminists have been around for a very long time. Feminism is not a new concept that came around sometime after 1994.
Media Blitz. The programming, like I said about the pop stars. Weather organization. You better believe they control the weather. Moral minority.
If there was a way to control the weather, there'd be so much money in it. The technology used to control the weather, people would be getting rich off of it. We would know about it.
I want to come to Seattle. Will you be my personal tour guide? I'll buy you Mexican food as payment for your valuable services. Queen Corgi World Tour.
World Tour? I mean, come to Seattle and we'll see, I'll see what William the Refrigerator is up to also.
Christians. Crusade. School prayer. That's what they're trying to remove. Into the world. Let me just check to see what time we're at, guys. 8 minutes in. All right, let's keep it going. Annual convention. Oh my. Reformed Church of Satan. It's what they're trying to put in schools. Exorcism. Hex. Martyrs. Defecation. Artifaction.
He said defecation. I gotta watch that again.
Defecation.
I'm so glad I have this download. Defecation, bro. The Illuminati predicted that we'd be shitting so much after 1994, bro. I gotta say it one more time. If I pre-recorded a video where I did something like that, I would edit that out. He
Defecation. Artifaction. Sorry guys, I'm tired.
I'm tired, bro. I'm not a complete idiot, I swear, bro.
Mayday. The meek shall inherit. Mercenaries.
Pooping is an Illuminati conspiracy theory.
Ceasefire.
Yeah, ceasefire is like, yeah, they're talking about it now, but ceasefires are a common thing when there's an armed conflict. So this is so general. I don't understand, like some of these, I don't know why they're showing it in this video. Is this entire video just them showing every card? Are there like thousands of cards for this game?
I don't know a lot of these, what they...
Yeah, tell me about... Yeah, what's this mean?
mean, but
Blitzkrieg. I mean, Blitzkrieg. That's like a German term from, I think, World War II, but it could be a World War I thing. I don't know. But definitely not a post 1994 thing.
I just thought I'd share them.
Partition. So it's like a country splits into two partitions.
There's a lot of them, folks. Definitely worth checking out, y'all. And tidal wave. There was a tsunami not long ago. That's probably it. Hurricane. They control it, guys. HAARP, look it up.
Volcano. There's been volcanoes since the beginning of human existence. So, I mean, before that, but I mean, they've always been around. So volcanoes are always a thing. So not a prediction of the Illuminati.
Anyways, y'all. Sorry about that. I just didn't really, I guess I didn't have much to comment on with some of these. I would kind of have to dig through the others that I really wanted to show y'all, and I don't have time for that, unfortunately.
Why don't you, hold on, you have time. You have time to watch that entire video. Where is your time going? What do you mean you don't have time? Does he mean he doesn't? Oh, okay, you know what? I get it now. My bad. He's not allowed to upload videos past a certain length. That's what it is. He can't upload more than 15 minutes at a time.
So guys, I hope you enjoy this video. I mean, well, I hope it can at least unlock.
The area that I live in has multiple volcanoes, and one of them erupts every few years, Mount St. Helens, and then the really big one hasn't erupted in over 100 years, but it'll probably erupt eventually, whenever that means.
Lighten you. I know this is scary stuff, but just understand, guys, we're waking up every day to the elites. They know this. They're scared. Okay? They didn't think this many of us would wake up. So just know that there is still faith. There is still hope for us. You know, I still have faith anyways. We just have to stop playing their game. We have to stop voting. We have to stop, you know, joining the military, joining anything, you know, part of the system, FBI, whatever. It's all controlled by the elites, guys. You know what I mean? Just be a follower of God, Jesus Christ. And I believe that Jesus Christ will, you know, he will come again. And he will save us from eternal damnation. So guys, with that said, I just want to bless y'all in the name of the Father, the Son.
So Jared lives in this weird fantasy world, kind of like, you know, the fictional world of like the Da Vinci Code or something. And the elites are actually running everything, and they put out this very subtle. I mean, in the case of this card game, it wasn't really subtle. They put out these subtle messages and not so subtle messages, telling us what they're going to do, and we know about it in like at least in the back of our minds, and we still let them do it. That's what's happening.
Holy Spirit, praying for all you guys. I'm praying for the world. Just keep faith, guys.
Elite
Never give
volcanoes.
up hope. And this is Jared Genesis signing out. Peace.
What is this? Oh, no. This video, I want to check this out actually. This video is called America's Deadliest Volcanoes That Could Erupt by 2025. Let's see.
Anything more ominous than a volcano threatening to erupt? The USA is one of the most volcanically active countries on Earth. While some volcanoes keep Americans on edge as they become aware of potential dangers, Other volcanoes lie dormant, patiently waiting for their time to blow
So
up.
the first one is in Hawaii.
Number 1, Kilauea, Hawaii.
They were having all
Kilauea is
kinds
the
of
youngest volcano on the island.
There was all kinds of crazy volcanoes in Hawaii last year.
Most dangerous. Kilauea has erupted dozens of times since 1952, with almost continuous activity between 1983 and 2018.
Yeah,
The long-lasting
AI-generated
eruption in
videos.
2018 created streams of lava that destroyed some 700 homes. For 10 full years
All
between
right,
2008
here's
and
Mount
2000
St. Helens.
Number 2, Mount St. Helens, Washington. Mount St. Helens is the most active volcano in the Cascade Range and is also part of the Ring of Fire.
It's probably like a
notorious region of volcanic
3 to
and
4 hour
seismic
drive away
activity
from
that
me.
spans from the west coast of South America all the way to Alaska and the Aleutian Islands. Until its historic eruption in 1980, Mount St. Helens had a conical shape and was dubbed the Mount Fuji of America. But despite lying dormant since 1857,
It
had
blew
an
up.
explosive steam eruption on March 27, 1980, triggering an earthquake that registered at 5.1 on the
There's a
Richter
crazy
scale and led to a
landslide.
huge landslide.
Yeah. Yeah, it erupted on one side and it created this giant landslide that just like slid down.
Impact was catastrophic. 57 people were killed and a 200-plus square mile area of
Look
trees
at that
was
shit.
razed.
Crazy.
The catastrophe spewed an ash cloud so large that it circled the globe and darkened the sky for hundreds of miles around the site. Because Mount St. Helens has produced 4 large explosive eruptions during the past 5 centuries, the U.S. Geological Survey maintains a robust monitoring program to detect signs of renewed unrest that are much likely to be repeated in the near future. Number 3, Long Valley Caldera, California.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of this
You only
one.
need to stroll through the Long Valley Volcanic Center to see that it's a
Here's the
hub of
one that
volcanic-
is closest to
Number
me.
4, Mount Rainier, Washington. With its dome-like peak casting a memorable silhouette across western Washington, Mount Rainier stands at a towering 14,410.
This is the picture they just showed is from Tacoma. Or no, actually no, this is from Seattle. This picture is from Seattle because I can see the football stadium right there.
410 feet above sea level. As well as being an active volcano, it's America's most glaciated peak, offering an adrenaline-pumping challenge for the thousands of mountaineers who climb to its summit each year.
Yeah, I would never do that. That does not sound fun. It's super cold up there. No matter what time of year, it's super cold and snowy, and people have died, and it does not sound like fun to me. I'll hike in the foothills or whatever, but I will not be climbing to the top of a giant volcano. No,
Although
thank
it
you.
hasn't had a significant eruption for around 500 years.
There was an eruption in, I think the late 1800s.
It is considered the most dangerous volcano in the Cascades Range.
It did have an eruption, though, so I don't know maybe it wasn't that big of an eruption. Hardly anybody lived around here at that point. There were very few people living over here when the last eruption happened.
That's because it's covered with such an immense mass of ice and snow that if even a small quantity is melted by an eruption, it could lead to enormous and highly destructive mud flows. This could adversely impact the 3.3 million residents in the Seattle-Tacoma area, but also the Columbia River drainage system flowing towards another 500,000 residents in southwestern Washington and northwestern Oregon. Number 5, Redoubt Volcano, Alaska. Located in southern Alaska's Chigmit Mountains, Redoubt is an active stratovolcano.
Oh,
that most
Yellowstone.
recently erupted.
Yellowstone
Number 6,
volcano.
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone super volcano. This is the one I always hear about. I guess Cobes kind of lives close to this. Because Cobes, I mean, this is in Wyoming. I know Wyoming's pretty big.
Supervolcano, Wyoming. Many features situated on the Yellowstone caldera draw in visitors from all over the world, including the Old Faithful Geyser, the vibrant Grand Prismatic Spring, and the enormous Yellowstone Lake. But beneath them looms a giant supervolcano. Though it is not expected to pop anytime soon, the Yellowstone supervolcano has proven to be unfathomably dangerous in the past. It has had 3 major eruptions in history. One occurred 2.1 million years ago, A second one occurred 1.3 million years ago, and the third one occurred 664,000 years ago. And while one study says that an eruption could blanket large parts of the Midwest in a layer of ash, the Geological Survey notes that it's far more likely that the volcano will have a hydrothermal or lava flow eruption, most of which are not highly explosive. Thankfully, the Yellowstone supervolcano has been dormant for 70,000 years and shows no signs of a brewing eruption. Scientists would expect months of seismic warning in advance of another significant explosion. Number 7. Mauna Loa, Hawaii. Though the Kilauea volcano on the main island of Hawaii erupted last year, it is not generally considered to be the most dangerous volcano on this set of Pacific islands. That honor goes to Mauna Loa, which is considered to be the world's largest.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this one, but that seems frightening. But yeah, we have two scary volcanoes here. Let's check out. Oh, what else should I do? Oh, I guess I'll do the Gail and Lizzo thing.
I am long overdue for making a video, so let's go ahead and get going here. I just finished I'm pretty much done with the story. It's actually a book, 46,000 words on the Quebec trial. I have noticed something interesting as I complete each story, and that is I gain new insight.
That was educational, by the way. I want to try and get out and do more hiking and stuff now that the weather is about to be a lot better. We're having our last cold snap of the spring going into summer here, and it's going to start being in the highs are going to start being in the 60s and 70s in Fahrenheit. So I want to start getting out and walking more, but I do not want to hike to the top of a mountain. Definitely not.
Into myself and my enemies and other people. It seems like I get a jump in emotional IQ every time I write a story. What I'll be writing next will be the story about when Brent was abducted by a UFO. Because we just finished the Quebec trial story, and the next thing, it would be the execution of the Laurie McBride clone.
I remember all of this. This is great.
And I will show in the next story what happened with that. But before I go further, I would like to say that at my last hangout with Rule 13, we found out that Antichrist Lizzo and her spacecraft are mysteriously missing. We do
Antichrist
not know where
Lizzo?
they are. So I just wanted to report that yeah, they've just vanished. We don't know where Lizzo is or where her spaceship is. Yeah, I'll have a photo of her spaceship off to the side.
Lizzo's spaceship. Does anyone recognize what this is actually from? I'm wondering. I'm not sure. Or is this AI generated?
Meanwhile, I did write each story that I write. I kind of like have a main character where I try to figure out what was driving them to move the events in the story. And eventually I'm planning on writing a story with Lizzo as a main character because she is the one basically who murdered my stepdad, Bill Fuller. Yeah, she did it, okay? And I've had a hard time getting a handle on her, but I think I'm starting to get her figured out. One thing that really gave me an insight into her was reading something that she wrote at her Tumblr page. And I think I'm going to kind of like go into that. Basically what drove Laurie McBride was Laurie felt that she was a clone and that clones were born evil because it's a known fact that clones have fallen angel DNA, okay? So she felt like it wasn't her.
Pay attention, everyone. This is more important than the volcano video. We're learning about clones. We now just learned that they have fallen angel DNA. So think about that. If you've been cloned, your clone not only has your DNA, but also fallen angel DNA inside of them. There will be a pop quiz at the end of this video, so I hope you're taking notes.
Fault that she was a clone and she was born evil, and she was angry at God that she was born evil and she couldn't help it. Unfortunately, she believed the lie that she was born evil. That is not correct, and my latest story is about how she acted out that lie and how it caused a lot of harm, not only to herself, but to a lot of other people. So that, 46,000 words to show how she acted it out at the Quebec trial. Yeah.
Wow, 46,000 words.
Lizzo, yeah. This is...
I've watched the trial of Laurie McBride. It's very strange.
I read something that, as I was finishing up the Laurie McBride story, I read something...
It was all on Skype. Who would have known that actual, like, court trials during the pandemic, would have... Like, the pandemic caused real court trials to have to be on Zoom and shit like that. So it's not too far-fetched, I guess. Thank you, Bobby Two Hands. Getting a little bit closer to that goal. And as soon as I meet the goal, I'm going to start next week's goal and try to stream a little bit longer. So if you want to help reach the goal a little earlier.
That Lizzo wrote that I think is giving me a handle on her. I think her name was Melissa Jefferson or something like that.
Melissa Jefferson.
Melissa hated her feelings. She buried them in a chest in the 5th grade, along with her ability to express them. Other people's feelings, on the other hand, was her forte. She could process, decipher, and regurgitate other people's emotions effortlessly. This gift could have taken her through college, all the way to a degree in psychology. Distinguished Dr. Jefferson with a PhD and a cozy office, an impressive roster.
Hi, Jessica Messica. Yeah, Gail's my buddy. Me and Gail have done streams together. I've known her for a very long time now. She's one of my favorite people ever.
Roster of high-profile, wealthy clients was a shiny idea. Fate would have a different hand for Melissa. Her talents were exhausted on mediating family.
Missed the start of the stream.
Yes!
Turn the head back and catch up. But happy early birthday, Ben.
Thank you. And that's all we needed. That's all we needed. And I'll add the $5.37 to next week's goal. And I'll start next week's goal now. Thank you. I appreciate that. Whew. That was unexpected.
Fights, friend group drama, and charming her way out of confronting her own feelings. Even saying it out loud to herself seemed silly. Something reserved for crybabies and water signs. Typical. When was she? She's obviously into horoscopes. Let me see when her birthday was. Water signs. She apparently identifies with her zodiac sign. Let me see what her... when I was a young teenager, I used to be into that stuff. April 27th, okay.
But now you realize that that's just mumbo jumbo, Gail. What's going on? What's going on at the Church of Gail is what's real. Okay.
I mean, she thinks she's a Taurus. An earth sign, eh? I don't believe in that stuff, by the way, but I'm just trying to get into her mind, okay? All right, so, water signs, okay. Okay. Typical Sunday nights started tame, reading or writing fan fiction and drinking cran apple juice. And then, like clockwork, her father would yell her name, Melissa! Emotionless, she'd get up, dust off her Winnie the Pooh shorts, and make her way downstairs.
Her Winnie the Pooh shorts. This is so specific.
Long walk down the hall to the stairs leading to the living room brawl. She'd go through her checklist. Number 1, don't cry. Number 2, stay neutral. Don't.
And by the way, Jessica Messica, what is going on with Jessica? Is she gone? I don't know where to find the Jessica videos these days, and Cobra's not making videos, so it's a sad day.
De-escalate. 3, don't take anything personal. This isn't about you. Personal opinion. if that's how she was raised, that is very unhealthy. Yeah, I can see why she's such a mess. Let's continue. She patted down the carpeted stairs in her old soft socks to see her mother tight-lipped and tear-streaked, thinking, she broke rule number 1, that means don't cry. Her father, Michael, was proud and angry, his big belly filled with self-righteousness. She knew he would be unyielding in his resolve, and at this point her only option was to de-escalate. That would be number 2. Rule number 2. Then her sister, the water sign, and Calamity for the evening, sat on the floor nearly fetal, face red and raw with emotion. It's not your fault, Melissa wanted to say. You just didn't follow the rules. You're loved.
And by the way, yeah, Gail has her men. You can email Gail's men. That is a thing you can do.
As I was reading,
I think it's a yahoo.com email address.
I was thinking, she's probably thinking she's not following God's rules right now, you know, like that are in the Bible and everything, or whatever. Yeah, she doesn't care. She's mad at God, I can tell you that right now. Why else would she be the Antichrist? I have to insert my little 2 bits here. But she couldn't say that because she'd be breaking rule number 3, don't take anything personal, this isn't about you. That is really unhealthy. That is the perfect, those rules are a perfect way to set up somebody with a major case of an identity crisis. Yeah.
She's basically a psychologist now.
Okay, if you're not allowed to cry, that means you're not allowed to feel, basically. That's telling you that you don't exist. Yeah, if I was growing up in an environment like that, I would feel like, I don't exist. I'm just a piece of furniture. I'm not allowed to feel. I'm not allowed to think. I'm not allowed to be. You say,
Wow.
So what kind of a person was? Keep going, okay? It wasn't about how Melissa felt, even though she felt like screaming. Vanessa, you didn't do anything wrong. That must be the name of her sister. Dad, you just have pent-up anger because you grew up in the hood of Detroit as a black man in the 60s and 70s. You need a healthy outlet like, I don't know, therapy? This is a waste of all of our time. I literally just wrote the best Sailor Saturn Chibi USA fan fiction ever, and this is killing my vibe. Instead, she decided to hear everyone out. Okay, I can already tell you what she was doing. She was losing herself into others because she was not allowed to be, okay? She was not allowed to exist. So what she would do is just, she did kind of like what I did growing up, okay? I was told that everything I did was wrong, and I was the shyest little girl ever, okay? I almost flunked first grade because of it, because I wouldn't speak a word in the classroom. She kind of did what I did in a way. She just crucified herself and lost herself into a false persona. Okay, she decided to help her. It was the helper persona, okay? To calm her dragon of a father down, to be a translator for her emotional sister, to not take it personal, to stay neutral, to not cry. 9 years later, at her father's funeral, she still never broke the rules. She played her flute and spoke at his memorial. She was present for her mother because it wasn't about her. When other people's emotions bubbled up, she stayed.
What do people even do when they turn 43?
What do they do? What you gotta do. You're not old enough to retire, so you're still just doing your thing, right? You're just 43.
Neutral. She sat through both services and she did not.
Father Time is undefeated. Unless you don't live long enough to be 43, you will someday be 43.
Cry. She was really convinced as a kid growing up that she was not allowed to exist. I can see that. It wasn't until she excused herself to make a phone call outside did she collapse onto the stairs of the funeral home and weep alone in the cold Detroit snow. It's okay to break the rules sometime. Yeah, if the rules are stupid like that, you should break them all the time, but not the way she did it. Okay? She reminded herself, as long as no one else sees it, traumas began to compact on Melissa as they do. Humans tend to collect traumas like pebbles on a long hike. They can. And Melissa, I got news for you. You're not the only one in life that has traumas, okay? And you're not the only one that grew up in a poor family that abused you or neglected you. And she's got this magnifying glass on herself, and she just thinks life is so unfair.
I remember being a little kid and I could show someone my age on one hand, you know? Yeah. Now I forget how old I am. Sometimes I'll be like, how old am I? Because it doesn't matter. There's no more milestones, really. I guess 50 is like a milestone. Kind of.
And that people in life that have their act together and have the connections that she wished she had got it unfairly. And she is as mad as hell about it. This is what I think is going on with her. Humans tend to collect traumas like pebbles on a long hike. We toss them into our backpacks and keep moving forward. Okay? You can tell right now, this is a very angry woman. She was not allowed to be. She was not allowed to feel, think, or be as a child growing up. She was apparently very angry at both of her parents, but was too scared to vent it. Obviously, she probably would have been put out on the streets if she did. And now, she's trying to find a safe way to vent all that anger she felt growing up that she wasn't allowed to vent. Yeah. And her safe way is now being with the one being that she thinks she has a connection with, Satan.
So, yep. Lizzo has that Satan connection.
That's what I think is going on with her. Traumas began to compact on Melissa as they do. Humans tend to collect traumas like pebbles on a long hike. We toss them into our backpacks and keep moving forward. That is really unhealthy. To just pile up grudges over and not get them out of your system. Very unhealthy. And you know what it's going to result in? An explosion. And that's exactly what's happened to her. Now that she's the Antichrist, she has exploded. All the anger she felt.
I love in the Gail lore how the person who's the Antichrist can change. Like it was Zach Knight at one point. I think it might have been Laurie McBride also at another point. I'm trying to remember. Some of you know the lore better than me.
Growing up because she couldn't be, because she couldn't exist, because she was a piece of furniture. Yeah, basically. Has now exploded. Some hikers would falter, but Melissa was built for this. She'd carried the stones of her family's traumas uphill for years. She was strong. No, she's a coward. It takes courage to be emotionally vulnerable, to admit when you're angry, to admit when you're scared. She doesn't have the guts to do any of this. When men began to befriend and reject her, saying, "You're too good for me," but not too good to make them feel good, she carried that. Oh, she got so mad. It's not fair that people like Gail Schuler have true love in their life and a connection. She had unfair advantages. Her family was richer than mine. She came from white privilege.
That's her Lizzo impersonation.
That's what she thinks. You know, I'll admit, okay, let me just keep going. When childhood friends began to cut off the strings of her heart, saying, "We can't be friends anymore," she carried that. That means she was as mad as hell. That's what it meant.
By the way, please like the stream. Make sure you're still subscribed because I get unsubscribed from my other accounts from this channel. I'll get randomly unsubscribed. So please subscribe, please like. And the goal that you see is this week's goal now. This current week that just started on Sunday. You know, depending on where you live, in some places, the calendar week starts on Sunday, and in other places, the calendar week starts on Monday. It's confusing. In the U.S., the calendar week starts on Sunday. That's the first day of the week when you look at the calendar. Does anyone live in a place where like when you look at a calendar, the first day of the week is listed as Monday and the last day of the week is Sunday? Just wondering.
Mostly at God. When her family separated like dandelion seeds, it seemed like they'd never be together again. Melissa slept on so many couches, floors, and car seats. Sometimes she didn't know if she'd see them again. I hear she was homeless for a while. She lived in her car. If I had to live in a car, I would be dead because the Jesuits gave me a big insomnia.
Yeah, I think mostly in Europe it starts on Monday, which is confusing. Well, like a lot of the countries in Europe, it's like that. There's this German website I use to upload podcast stuff, and when I schedule the uploads, their calendar starts on Monday, and I have to remind myself that it's like that.
Problem. I would have died. She carried that. So at least be grateful you were able to sleep in the car, girl. If I was homeless and in a car, I would have been dead. Dying was never an option, though. Sometimes she didn't mind the thought of it. Actually, I think she's a little suicidal right now. Peace and warmth were two things she desperately yearned and hadn't felt fully since the womb. Yeah, I told you she wants connection. Just like the baby is connected with the umbilical cord to their mother. She wants connection, and she's as mad as hell that she doesn't have it. Then one night in the pitch black of the hot, sweaty, roast-infested studio in southeast Houston, she slept in. Yeah, she wondered, why can't I break the rules? She'd seen everyone else in her life break them like popsicle sticks. And she didn't just want to break the rules, she wanted to break them boldly.
Yeah, I would think North America, we start on Sunday. I think Japan, they start on Sunday too, I think. But I think a lot of countries start on Monday. Probably South America, they might start on Sunday too. I'm not sure.
And loudly and annoyingly and honestly and sloppily, like everyone else gets to do. It was in that moment, tucked in a thin jacket inside of an 8-foot-high instrument cubby in the inky darkness, it hit her. Is my suffering for a high purpose, or is my suffering trying to kill me? She cried. She escalated, yet she escalated her anger. She took it personal, but it wasn't enough. She wanted to scream. I told you she's angry. In a microphone, in a sea of shadowy faces. Desperate for connection. She drank whiskey and wove her pain into rock music, and she eats for comfort food because she doesn't have connection in her life. Music is my boyfriend, she declared. See, I told you she wants connection. The only man that kept his baggage to himself. And it healed her. Oh yeah, she had sex with other guys, but it was all a pure lust fest. Now I do believe she is a hypersexual, but I think she also has a need for connection, okay? So sex alone wasn't cutting it for her. She wanted a connection, okay? And she wasn't getting it. And all these guys she had sex with were obviously just doing it just to have sex, and that was it. And then they left her because they didn't really want to connect with her. You say, why wouldn't they connect with her? Well, I think part of the problem is she doesn't know who she is. And she's scared to find out. And it healed her. It gave her voice, reason, and purpose. The pebble-laden hike became lighter with time. The incline eventually evened out to flat, beautiful landscapes where the breeze finally met her back. Yeah, the breeze was Satan. Satan probably met her one day and said, hey, Lizzo, I agree with you, life isn't unfair. This will be our connection. We're both mad at God because life is unfair. It wasn't very fair of you.
I love her voices.
To be raised.
I love her whole Satan, lick my, or was it Bubba? Yeah, it was Bubba the Black Jesuit. Lick my butthole. Do you guys remember that?
In the Detroit hood. It's no wonder you can't find any connection in your life. It's not your fault. God is unfair. You were raised in a family where you weren't even given a chance in hell of getting the connection that you wanted. That's the lie Satan told her. And she said, yeah, that's right. He said, I'll make you important. I'll make you my #1 human. How'd you like that, Lizzo? For once in your life, you're no longer just a mat for people to step on. You are important, and that's why she lined up with Satan. You can see by the way she was raised. She felt like a piece of furniture.
Like a piece of furniture.
Somewhere in the range, she decided rules were meant to be built and broken, like trust and love and friendships and family. Because everything deserves the opportunity to change and grow. Well, that is true, Lizzo, but you're not. You're changing into a very toxic, unhealthy person. And you're growing into a monster. That's what you are.
Wow. Strong words from the Empress.
All right, into a monster. The only connection she has at this point in her life is with Satan. She doesn't have anything else.
You take what you can get, though.
She's so desperate for a connection, she'll take that if that's all she can get. So she broke rule number 1 on stage while singing a beautiful song. Dr. Jefferson, PhD. Scream, that would be the person that if she was proper and she was doing all the rules, you know, she would have been a PhD in psychology. Scream for her to stop, but she didn't listen. And the tears flowed like rivers of emotion down her cheeks. Well, yeah, it's good to get all that, suppressed emotion out. Unfortunately, not all the tears that fell were healthy tears. A lot of them were angry tears based on the lie that it was God's fault that she was raised with the family she had and that there was no way she could overcome it. You know, I could be just as bitter as you, Lizzo, because my mother was a narcissist, okay? She screamed to throw me out on the streets when I was growing up. And I could have been just as bitter as you. But I had faith that whoever was running the whole shebang was a good being. I watched movies like The Greatest Story Ever Told and Jesus of Nazareth in 1977 and concluded that even though the
She watched movies that taught her Jesus was A-okay.
family that raised me was as mean as hell and very unfair to me, that the one running the whole thing was good. And I was determined to find my place in that good universe.
There's someone in the chat having a super crazy schizo conversation with themselves. And I just keep reading it, trying to make sense of it, thinking like, are they talking to somebody else? But I'm just like, what is this? Like, I don't know. I know I'm not the only one who sees it.
You have totally lost faith that the God who's running everything is good. Yeah, you believe the lie that he's evil. Simply because you were born into that family you were born with where you felt like you weren't given a chance. You had a chance, but you blew all your chances, okay? Okay, you blew it. Yeah. Everybody out there, despite what you think, even though you think all the doors are closed, all the windows are closed, there is a window open somewhere. If you don't see it, it's because you're blind, okay? And one day, when she finally fell in love, okay. And rule number 2 was broken when she grew older and saw the injustices of the world. I told you she's obsessed with this. Marching with hundreds in protest, she realized not everything needs to be pacified. The only problem is, Lizzo, you think the solution is to let Satan run everything. He's about as unfair as they come. The universe that he wants is filled with evil, injustice, suffering, and the only connection you're going to get in Satan's world is a big lust fest. Okay? That's the only connection you're going to get. You cannot have connection with another being if you don't get real with them. You say, well, Satan is real. No, he's not. He's not. He only acknowledges the side of him that's evil because he's trying to make a point to God. Okay? He believes that God is evil and that God's a hypocrite. And he's using you to help him make his point. And you're helping him beautifully right now. Every time you feed that anger inside of you. that anger, because that anger is that basically you're angry at God. You know, whenever we worry or fret.
That's crazy how they stopped as soon as I called it out, too. Hey, if I wanted it to stop, I could have just banned them. I was just pointing it out. Like, I was trying to make sense of it, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on, because I was like, are they talking to somebody else? Because so oftentimes people will have conversations with each other in the chat.
Or feel angry at injustices. You know who we're angry at? God. God. That's a losing battle, folks. You may say, well, God's not there. That's because you don't understand him. Yeah. And rule number 2 was broken when she grew older and saw the injustices of the world. Marching with hundreds in protest, she realized not everything needs to be pacified. Trying to understand God, think of us as like a bunch of maybe insects or
I thought she was going to say
you know?
incels.
He's the whole shebang, man. It would be, if he tried to explain himself to us, it would be like God trying to explain how he operates to a grasshopper, huh? Okay? Or maybe a little bug, you know? Huh? It's kind of difficult. You say, well, how do you know God is good? Because he gave me Brent. And Brent is marvelous.
But not everyone has Brent.
Anybody who would give me a partner like I have has got to be good. You say, well, I don't have someone like that, so God is evil. The reason you don't have someone like that is because you're a coward. The reason I have Brent in my life, and you'll get this from the Gail series, is because I had the courage to be vulnerable, there, and authentic with him. Yeah, I wrote him letters stating how I really feel about things. Not how I was supposed to feel. See, this is what Lizzo does. She puts on different pairs of shoes depending on which group she's with and what rules they have. Like right now, she is a major SJW, okay? She's a social justice warrior. And she's wearing the shoes of a social justice warrior icon, okay? That isn't the answer, simply because none of us is a label, okay? But that's it. Those are her pairs of shoes. She doesn't have the courage to break out of her box. Just like I didn't for many years. Brent gave me, when I started writing letters to Brent and got real to him and realized that he loved me just the way I am, that's when I began to get out of my box and started being real with him. You say, how can you, what do you mean being real? It means don't give the answers you're supposed to give. Well, my church says this is the way I'm supposed to feel. It's that I'm not allowed to have any sexual attraction to anyone but my monogamous husband. So if I feel attracted to anyone, I won't even admit I'm doing it. That was me in my 20s, okay? I wouldn't admit that I had polyamorous tendencies. I wouldn't even go there. It was like, you even mentioned it, boom, okay? Now this is what Lizzo's like in her little old black, I don't know, her hip-hop culture.
I was like, where's she going?
SJW. She won't even go there if something about how she really feels doesn't fit in her little SJW black hip-hop culture box. Okay? She won't even go there. That means she's not going to get real. There might be some aspects of her that don't fit in the SJW black hip-hop culture box, but she refuses to go there. And she won't be real. She memorizes the rules for her group and makes sure she fits in, and she's the prime example of her group. I'm finally important. I meet all the rules of my group. You're still a rule follower, Lizzo. You're still a rule follower. Just different rules than the ones you grew up with, that's all. You're just a coward. You don't have the courage to let the gray areas come out. Not everything in life is black and white. And one day when she finally fell in love, she broke rule number 3. No matter how much training she'd done, she couldn't help but take everything her lover said and did personal. Of course. What lovers say and do to us is meant to be taken personally usually. But it was okay. But see, she's scared to be a person.
All right. This is shaping up to be a very long video.
She doesn't even know who she is. Well, how do I find out? You're going to find out. This is how you find out who you are. When you get in a relationship with a friend or anybody, and they ask your opinion on something, when you answer them, answer how you truly feel deep in your core. Not how you're supposed to feel, not how your group expects you to say you feel, but how you really feel. Let me give an example of how this works. When I was growing up in my church, okay, I really was kind of lackadaisical about homosexuality. I didn't really care if they wanted to go out and, be gay or whatever. I didn't care. I was like, to each his own. If they're not hurting me, I don't care, Now, if I had stated how I really felt among my church friends, I would have said that. I would have said, why are you guys going out there and making such a big deal about all the gays out there? If they want to be gay, let them be that, you see? Now, if I was brave and true to how I felt, I would have said that. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I would have been real. Another area I would have been real is when I was in college, I was often attracted to more than one man at a time. I mean, I had a desire to have like a deep connection with two guys at once. That was where my polyamory was coming out. But if a Christian guy that I was interested in even hinted that I was like that, I'd say, oh, no. And then I would completely cut off the relationship with the other guy that I, to make it appear like I was monogamous. I was trying to push myself into the monogamous mold to be accepted. This is what I'm talking about, okay? You might say, look, you were like that with Brent. He never would have fallen in love with you. It's hard. I think he would have. Because he would have seen enough of the real Gail in there that he loved and admired, and there would have been a connection there. And even though he's monogamous, we could have worked things out, and like the way
I remember when Jesus came and moved in with Gail, and they were having relations with each other. That was a couple years ago I think it was when she first moved to this new apartment. Jesus showed up, and her and Jesus were getting it on.
Yeah, but the point is, you're not going to get any connection if you're not willing to be real, okay? And then we're going to kind of like fast forward a little bit. Let's go to my allergies are making my eyes water. Let's go to when after I divorced my ex, when I realized that if I stayed in that marriage, I'd be dead within a couple of years. That's what Jesus told me in prayer, which would have been correct. And I realized this new group that I was with, I kind of changed my shoes, kind of like Lizzo, okay? She changed her shoes, and I decided, okay, now I am the hot woman with a bunch of celebrity guys that want me. And so I changed my shoes, and I decided to be hot with inner beauty, right? Inner and outward beauty. And I figured that being monogamous wasn't so cool with this new group. I had no idea Brent was monogamous. I thought he was, like I was. And I denied my asexuality, my asexual leanings. Now, I'm not telling you to put on, I'm not going to put the asexual label on myself, but what I'm saying is I really actually thought all this sex talk was kind of boring. But I wouldn't dare say that to these guys. Like, oh, no, if I say that to them, I won't be accepted. But let's just put it this way. If I was truly myself, when my men decided to give me a marriage list, I would have said, no, don't give me a marriage list. I don't need the marriage list.
Thank you. I am simultaneously having a happy 43rd, 60th, and 78th birthday all at the same time. I'm having multiple birthdays at multiple ages all at the same time.
It's boring. I don't even give a flip if a bunch of Hollywood guys are interested in me. I don't care. All I need is just a connection with one, and I'm happy. Now, if I...
Every person... Every copy of me in the multiverse is having the same birthday at every age and time.
I was totally myself, I would have said that. This is what I'm talking about. I wouldn't have let other people define me. See, this is what Lizzo does. She's letting Satan define her. And Baphomet define her because Baphomet is behind the SJW movement. He said, they're saying, oh, Lizzo, you can belong with us. We don't care that you're fat. You're cool because you think like we do. Just adopt our rules and hype them all up and advertise them to everybody. So yeah, she's basically changed her rule book.
If you want Gail to rant, she will just cut a rant on whatever you ask her to rant about. That's why she did the actual Mania stuff so well. When she cut some promos on some people, it was great.
She's still following the rules. She's still a coward. She still doesn't have the guts to be who she really is. I wouldn't be surprised if she thinks some of Satan's rules are stupid. But do you think she has the guts to say it? No way. She's a coward. She can't own up to her activities because she's a coward. Okay. Melissa began to fall for her feelings. Her feelings gave life purpose. They weren't always logical, as feelings seldom are. And one day she finally fell in love.
She's Japanese. She's not Native American. She's half Japanese and half, European.
She broke rule number 3. No matter how much training she'd done, she couldn't help but take everything her lover said and did personal, but it was okay. Because in all her resistance, she realized breaking rules was her power. You ain't breaking any rules, honey. You're still following them. How much I dare you to break Satan's rules? Do you have the guts to do it? Laurie McBride had the guts to do it. I gotta say one thing for Laurie McBride. When she was the Antichrist, she had a lot. She was petty, vulgar, lustful, and mean, but she wasn't a coward.
Wow.
I gotta give her.
So she had more respect for Laurie McBride as the Antichrist than she does for Lizzo as the Antichrist.
That. And neither was Zach Knight. But you, Lizzo, are a coward. She never owns up to her activities. She always tries to make it look like somebody else did her evil. She's a coward. She can't break the rules. She still can't break the rules. She thinks she's breaking the rules. No, she's not. She just adopted a new set of rules, that's all. Melissa began to fall for her feelings. Her feelings gave life purpose. They weren't always logical, as feelings seldom are. They were sloppy and embarrassing and rude and so fucking uncomfortable. But they were hers and they were real. No, they're not real. They're Satan's rules, Satan's feelings. She's kind of figured out what Satan's beef is, and she's made those hers, so she can belong to her new group and feel like she's something less than a piece of furniture. And when she sat alone sipping wine, staring at the moon, they were the only ones still by her side, ready to break the rules for her because they loved her. And she finally loved them back.
I am not going to celebrate the whole month. I'm just going to celebrate. Well, I'm not even really celebrating right now. I'm just streaming. I'm drinking water, bottled water. So there's not a lot of celebrating going on right now.
You know, to be honest with you, you might say, do you think they loved her? Let me tell you what's going on with her. She's attracting people like herself who feel like they've got a chip on their shoulder because they feel like the reason they can't get whatever it is they want. She's attracting the hypersexuals who want a better sex life, or who want to have unbridled lust and sex and can't have it because it's condemned, okay? Or she's attracting people like herself who are a combination of hypersexual and want a connection because they don't have the romance or the guy or, that they want. She's saying, well, the reason Laurie McBride got right is because she's better looking than me. It's not my fault I was born fat. You weren't born fat, Lizzo. You're fat because you eat comfort food. Because you're a coward and you don't have the courage to be real in order to get that connection that you want. That's the truth, whether you like it or not. Okay? It's because you're never going to get that connection, that relation. You say, well, she's got a boyfriend. Oh, it's all for show. There's no real... You can't have a true love relationship or even a genuine friendship with anyone if it's not based on you being real with somebody else who's being real. Okay? And the first step to getting real is you got to quit the show. And you're right, Lizzo, you got to break the rules sometimes. You need to be real. And that's not easy for a person like me or Lizzo to learn. When you're used to spending your whole life putting on different pairs of shoes, it is very difficult to say, this is how I really feel about this. You know, if the people in my group don't like it, well, you might be surprised, Lizzo. What's going to happen if you have the courage to be real? There are going to be some courageous people out there that are going to respect you. They're going to resonate. You say, well, I'm being real. No, you're not. You're not being real. You're being angry. You're angry at the unfairness of life. And you're following all of Satan's rules. You know, even when Laurie McBride was with Satan, she bucked him sometimes. And so Satan started beating her up. That's why she left. And even Zach Knight and Rule 13, when they were with Satan, they were not quite following Satan's rules. Lizzo is pretty good at following Satan's rules. She's a coward. She's a coward. Anyways, here's my video, you guys, and my take on Lizzo. Yeah, we don't know where she is. My guess is she's probably waiting for me to do
She's
something
obsessed
so
with
that my
Lizzo because
Gail
Lizzo's
goes
the
down.
Antichrist.
And then she's going to try to take my Brent from me.
And Lizzo's trying to steal her man.
He's as jealous as hell that I've got
Can't
Brent
deal with
in my
that.
life. He is the epitome of connection. I mean, I've got the best connection with him. She is so jealous that I have what she so desperately wants. And she thinks it's so unfair that I have it. She was raised in a richer family than me. I will grant you, I mean, I wasn't raised in a rich place, but yeah, I definitely was in a place better than a studio apartment.
That would be crazy if Brent Spiner actually had a picture taken with Lizzo somehow, some way. That would be insane.
Southeast Houston, that's for sure.
But someone could just Photoshop it and
Yeah.
try to make it look real.
But
And she'll be like, that's Brent's clone.
I'm going to tell you this. Some rich kids can tell you that if you're raised in a rich family, but there's no love in your home, you can feel like you're raised in poverty. I wasn't raised in a rich family, but there wasn't love in my home. And I could have been just as bitter as you. In fact, my sister, she's turned out pretty much a disaster. A lot of it has to do with whether you've got faith in the beings who are running the whole thing, okay? You've totally lost faith in them. You just don't believe that goodness is running the whole thing. And it's because you think it's impossible for you to get a connection. And you know what your problem is? You're too scared to break the rules. The rules just change, that's all. You just drop one rule book and go to another. You need to write your own rule book about who you really are. Not who Satan wants you to be, not who your father wanted you to be, and not who the SJWs want you to be, but who Lizzo really wants to be. And until you do that, you'll never find that connection that you think that you do want. That's what she wants. That's what she wants. She'll never get it until she stops being a coward. She is a flamin' coward.
There you go. Wow. That was like a 40-minute promo on Lizzo. She's a machine. I saw this video earlier and I thought it was hilarious, so I want to show it to you guys. It's Kevin Nash, the wrestler Kevin Nash, on Vince McMahon's first gay experience.
So, Stiff One of the Week brings us to your friend, Scott Hall. And this was on one of our shows. It was on a U shoot. And about Vince McMahon in a meeting talking about his first homosexual experience. You were there too, Kev. Let's see.
So this is an old interview that Scott Hall, the late Scott Hall, did. I don't know what year he did it, but he's talking about a weird experience with Vince McMahon. Everyone knows country clubs always have their own pools, okay? You don't need to hitchhike.
Oh, yes. Yes. Scott and I have rehashed that conversation numerous times. Yeah.
Got props for the bearskin rug reference.
It's just, I swear, it's, I was so blessed to spend like 33 years of my life with that human being. I mean, it's just like, oh, I didn't know because I don't know what you're going to pull up. So, I mean, to me, that's, and then it was like later on, like, so like the angle goes a little bit forward and, Scott's sitting there with his son, Code, and him and Cody are watching it, and like Goldust unzips his outfit, pulls it over, and there's a heart, and across it says Razor. And Scott's got to explain to his son why this freak's got up.
Goldust was like a scary, like almost horror movie level androgynous wrestler.
How old's Cody at the time?
God, maybe 10, 11.
That's great.
Enough to scar you.
Yeah. Interesting perspective you have, because you were there in the lean years and then when things got crazy. So you did your TV tapings with cold cuts and bread. There you go.
Asked, hey, would you like to fucking make a move? Maybe bring your partner over? Do this NWO thing?
Yeah, anyway, yeah. They don't talk too much about let me tell you about my first gay experience. That is so weird. The whole Vince McMahon stuff. Goldust had a move for a long time where it was just a kick in the balls. He would sit the guy in the corner standing up, and he'd run across the ring and just kick it like a soccer ball, like right between the legs, and that was his finishing move. Something happened locally with zebras. We had a bunch of zebras on the loose recently in this region. It was on the local news, and then I saw it on the national news. Check this out.
Well, first, I felt like I was at a petting zoo. The owner, she did not want to go on camera. We do know she is from out of state and was in the process of transporting the zebras to an animal sanctuary in Montana. She says she pulled over to check on the trailer, and that's when the animals somehow got loose. The incident turning North Bend into a wild zoo for a few hours Sunday.
I called someone. I was like,
North Bend is the city where they filmed Twin Peaks. I shouldn't even call it a city. It's a town. It's like a mountain town.
So I found the missing zebras, like they're in my yard.
It's the call you don't expect to make on a rainy Sunday, but it's one Whitney Bloomquist says she won't soon forget.
I mean, this is Washington. Washington alone would I have thought like zebras are on the loose in Washington, but let alone North Bend.
Four zebra originally escaped Sunday afternoon from their trailer while in transport not far from...
This guy sounds like his nose is congested.
I-90 in North Bend. The animals quickly parading around around this restaurant before taking off. 3 of them wandering into Bloomquist's backyard.
They like looked right at me, and I mean, I was like, okay, don't make noise. Like, I think I gotta be quiet. Like, no, you know, you learn with a bear, you know, you make a lot of noise, you gotta like make yourself big. And I'm like, with zebras, no one's taught me what to do when you're like approached by zebras.
The zebra once again taking off. One of them believed to be the baby,
Look at it
winding
go.
up in Courtney Luther's backyard.
He was very skittish and kind of backed into a tree, didn't know what to do, kind of lost his gang, I guess. And so you didn't know when he was going to take off, but once he jetted, we sort of created this human bridge to make sure that he got into the backyard safely, which is where he stayed for several hours afterwards.
3 of the zebra were eventually reunited at this private horse farm.
I've caught a lot of different wild animals for people, for different sheriff's departments and vets and such. It happens, and so we thought, well, let's just see if we can help.
Good Samaritan and rodeo wrangler David Danton using his skills to corral 2 of the animals to safety.
We made it
like what?
Where the path of least resistance is right where we wanted them to be, and they gently walked up and got in the trailer, and they're fine. So it actually went as good as it possibly could, so it's good.
The final hurdle, working to find the final zebra still on the loose.
Yeah, this zebra was on the loose for like
in North Bend
for about a
It was
week.
a slow Sunday, and now it's a very busy Sunday, very entertaining Sunday, wild.
A very exciting weekend, no doubt. And checking with the animal's owner, all animals appear to be in good health. They will be staying the night at that private horse farm and stable. In the newsroom, Dave Detling, Fox 13 News.
Following breaking news, a zebra that went missing in the North Bend area has been found.
They found the missing
just
zebra.
arrived at a private home near where the zebra was captured. Fox 13's Dave Detling is live. Dave, this is a huge relief for everyone that's been looking for that zebra.
Everyone was worried about the zebra.
Yeah, absolutely. And it appears that this zebra saga now over. As you mentioned, we are at a private residence here in North Bend.
Saga.
We are in the 15,000 block of 451st Avenue Southeast here in North Bend. Beyond me is the private property. We actually have video sent to us from a neighbor that shows that final and 4th zebra being corralled. Talking to that neighbor, she told me that the rancher next door, he's a farmer, he slowly corralled the zebra using fencing, making it smaller and smaller. She says they also used food just to calm the animal down. And prior to all this, she said that
the
yesterday
new
the
zebra
zebra
effect
was in her front yard. She called 911, but by the time officers arrived, it had already left. So apparently this 4th and final zebra had been hanging around this neighborhood here in North Bend. As you mentioned, the good news that 4th and final zebra is now corralled. We believe that it is in the back of a trailer. We can confirm that the King County Sheriff's Office is on scene, as well as with animal control. The zebra's owner out in
Zebra steaks.
Montana has been contacted and is aware of this situation.
We don't eat horse meat in the U.S. usually, so we probably wouldn't eat zebra.
We are waiting an update from the property owners here, and coming up at the top of the 11 o'clock news on Fox 13, we will hear from that neighbor about the wild end to this zebra containment story. A lot of excitement here in North Bend. Actually, we're going to go to a live interview right now. Kelly, if you wouldn't mind joining me. I know this has been a very exciting moment for you guys. Talk to me, because I know you witnessed the zebra being corralled.
Oh, God. All right. Yeah. The zebra got corralled. Man, slow news day. People were like talking about the zebra, though. It was a whole thing, a zebra thing. Yeah, zebras wouldn't survive the cold winter here. It was just barely warm enough here for them to be okay. Here's Wild Bill for America talking about beer.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Bill's Front Porch. Steve Unst asked, is it okay for a Christian to go out and drink a beer? This is one of the favorite fights inside the Christian church today. The short answer is yes, it's okay, but drunkenness is always wrong. Some say that taking any drink of alcohol is a sin. They say that Jesus never drank alcohol because that would be, well, a sin. They say that at the wedding in Cana, when the Bible says Jesus turned the water into wine, he really just made grape juice. Really? Think about it. It was a party, and the people had been drinking wine all day. And when they tasted the wine that Jesus made, they said it was the best wine.
Is that what they said? Did you interview them?
I guarantee you grape juice would not have been well received.
Did they say that?
In the gospel story, Jesus said that John the Baptist did not drink, and his enemies said he was demon-possessed. Jesus said that he came eating and drinking, and they called him a drunkard. So it's pretty clear that Jesus drank wine. I was a lawman for 20 years. I saw drunk driving wrecks. I saw families torn apart by alcoholism. And now that I think about it, just about every fight I was ever in had alcohol involved. So the problem is stupid.
But who started it, Bill?
Drinking. Scripture does not specifically forbid the drinking of alcoholic beverages. In fact, several passages discuss alcohol in positive terms. Ecclesiastes 9:7 says, "Drink your wine with a merry heart." Psalm 104 says that God gives wine that makes glad the heart of men. So, in a nutshell, the Bible says...
Who's this kid?
It's okay to drink alcoholic beverages.
The dog is not cooperating.
But it is not okay to be stupid about it. Drunkenness is a sin and a huge...
Could you imagine just walking your dog, you walk by fucking Wild Bill shooting a video?
In this world, and that's why many Christians refuse to touch a
Why is there a U-Haul behind Wild Bill?
Drop of alcohol.
Or whatever that is.
And I respect that. I have a friend whose son was an alcoholic, and he jumped to his death from a bridge here in Daytona. My friend rails against drinking, and I will never challenge him on that. The problem with mankind is that we are experts at taking good things that God gives us and turning them into sinful things. Of all the things that make men stupid, I'd say the top two are alcohol and pretty girls. And when those two work together, ooh. Now, should a Christian drink? Well, a few years ago, I went to lunch with an after-church...
Oh, yeah!
Now everything feels very slow. Oh, wait, that's just the ever-charismatic Mild Bill.
Mild Bill!
Church group, the pastor and about a dozen church people, including a new lady. Her husband had recently died, and she was a grieving widow seeking a church home. She ordered a beer with her lunch, and nobody else did. So when my turn came, I ordered a beer too. I think it was the right thing to do. So, bottom line, a glass of wine in itself is not sin, but drunkenness is. So conduct yourself accordingly. As Shania Twain said, don't be stupid. This is Wild Bill for America. Thank you for watching.
Shania Twain?
And America, bless God. Again.
I guess I'm not surprised that Wild Bill would quote Shania Twain. You know? Jesus Christ. I saw this compilation of... I guess back in the day on Jimmy Kimmel, he used to have wrestlers on a lot, and he would have them pillow fight this guy. And I watched these three wrestlers pillow fight this guy. It's interesting. Check this out.
Are you prepared? Do you have a pillow? I don't have a pillow. You're definitely going to need a pillow for this of some kind. And Cousin Sal? Yeah, and where is Cousin Sal? Cousin Sal, come on out.
The guy has like a pillow wrestling belt. So I'm going to skip to the actual pillow fight that Undertaker has with this guy. Undertaker is scary.
And good. Sal is wearing his...
Oh, this guy does kind of make a funny joke.
And good. Sal...
Oh, shit. Hold on.
Wait a minute.
Is that, yeah. go ahead.
There's been some confusion. I thought I was pillow fighting the gay Undertaker from 6 Feet Under.
No.
Oh, there was a show on TV at the time called 6 Feet Under, and it was about a guy that was like a mortician, an undertaker, that was gay. So, and then he says this.
No.
Not the gay Undertaker from the WWE.
And good. Sal is wearing his tattoo, and now
There's quite a size difference.
All right, we gotta clinch here. Clinch. All right. Who knew this would happen? Wow. All right. Oh no! Undertaker. Wow. This is like in those movies where.
Oh, this guy clocked him right there. He has this like duck and swing. Obviously, Undertaker has a reach advantage over him.
This is gonna end in a bloodbath. Cousin Sal swinging wildly, going for the home run here, and he takes one on the back of the head. Undertaker firing back now. He's delirious. They're tangled up. Oh my goodness. Wow, what a competition we have here. What a competition. Cousin Sal.
They're all wrapped up.
Undertaker.
Undertaker could just take that guy's pillow from him.
Well, you know what? This is one of the things that goes along with pillow fighting. It's one of the things that's ruining the game. Knots. Yes. All right.
Gonna break up the pillow.
Yes, Undertaker has an everything advantage. Like look at his arms compared to this guy.
Folks, I'm gonna ask you, who do you think we are now go to the studio audience?
Undertaker's arms are like the size of this guy's legs.
Declare a winner. Who believes that the Undertaker won this fight? And who believes that Cousin Sal won the fight?
Thank you. Yes.
He retains his title.
I've proven my point. Thank you. Very good.
Congratulations on the win,
Good
Undertaker.
job.
When we come back.
He took a cheap shot.
Comedian Dan Mintz. We'll be right back, everybody.
Yeah, man, he was ducking him. He got like a duck. Undertaker.
My Cousin Sal.
Oh God. Okay. Now this time it's Stone Cold. Okay.
Has started a tradition with the pillow fights. Oh no, there he is.
Your funeral, man. Your funeral.
All right, well, here we go. I better get this guy out of here because we don't want him to get hurt. And Slash, get
Dude, he wrecks. He gets wrecked.
Wow, look at this. Sal's actually bleeding.
Yeah, dude's bleeding.
Sal.
Oh.
I'm still the champ.
He's like bleeding from the mouth.
Thought, you son of a bitch.
All right. Cousin Sal, everybody. Oh, there you go.
He ran away.
I think I better do cardio before Sunday.
Do you think he had a blood capsule in his mouth, or did you actually open his mouth?
I saw him use a blood capsule.
Oh, he had the blood capsule. Yeah,
I think,
that's
Sal, you okay?
That's what he did on his wedding night too. He wanted to pretend he was a virgin. It's absolutely true.
All right, and then the last one he does is against another crazy big bald guy, Goldberg.
Here we go. You got it.
Oh.
Oh, no. Come on, man. All right, here. Oh, no. That's an illegal hold. That's an illegal hold. Oh, look at this. Wow. Oh, look at it.
Oh! It is kind of brave of him to go up against these guys that are huge. Undertaker took it easy, but Stone Cold and Goldberg did not take it easy on this guy. I will say this set doesn't seem like the ideal place to have pillow fights. I don't know. What do you guys think? That set doesn't seem like the ideal location. They should have built a little ring. Yeah, not a good pillow fighted environment. Do 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 do. All right, I really have to go to the bathroom. I will be right back in just a moment here, and I'll see you guys in just a second. Hello, I'm back. It was a partial dimensional merge. Better not merge, boy. Better not merge. No much for you. What is this?
Hundreds of free movie libraries have popped up all over SoCal and around the country. They're called free Blockbusters, and it's a small reminder there's still a whole world beyond streaming services. KCAL's Elise Martinez talked to the founder.
Free Blockbusters?
Brian Morrison leads us to where it all began.
This is where the first free Blockbuster was.
It was here on Hillhurst Street in Los Feliz back in 2019 where Morrison started the free Blockbuster movement.
This was an abandoned LA Weekly newspaper box that I just painted.
The ex-Blockbuster employee says he liked the idea of a free lending library where neighbors could take or leave VHS tapes and DVDs. Although the stand that started it all is now gone, in the last several years, free Blockbusters have popped up all over the place.
Weird.
And this map shows you where some of them are.
It's really hard to put an exact number on it, but we have over 200 locations across the U.S., Canada, Mexico, the UK, and Australia.
One place you'll find a free Blockbuster library is in Sun Valley, outside Alyssa Colgard's home.
I just like that people stop by and have this kind of fun little quirky thing.
This film fanatic works in the entertainment industry and wanted to recreate an authentic trip to Blockbuster. It's complete with snacks and even a guest book.
People are free to rent stuff at their leisure. I ask for people to bring it back, but if they don't, it's not a huge deal.
Even though it's been more than a decade since most Blockbuster stores were shuttered nationwide, the trademark sign is still recognized.
There's like 4 of them in my area. I just looked it up to see if there was any of these near me. There's 4 within like 50 miles.
And so Morrison's free Blockbuster movement isn't exactly sanctioned by the company.
We did early on receive a letter from them saying, hey, these are our trademarks. They're not dead trademarks. They're still active. We own these. Maybe you could stop doing this.
Morrison says as the movement grew, it was just too late to stop it. And now there's no stopping the nostalgia for physical media.
There are a lot of people who look at a collection of VHS tapes and say, well, this is trash. And you throw it in the bin, and it goes into the dumpster, and it goes to the landfill. But the reality is, this is still useful media. It still has value. Let's share it. Let's not just trash it.
In Los Angeles, Elise Martinez, KCAL News.
There's all types of used media stores here. You could go crazy, but like used record stores and used like video media. There's so much. It's crazy. Oh, man. One of these days, I need to figure out how many people I can. I need to find a game, like a multiplayer game that the most people want to play together, so that I can have like massive tournaments in it or whatever. I am a middle-aged man. I am now a middle-aged man. I wasn't 10 years ago. I would say I wasn't middle-aged, but yeah, probably now. Quake 3 Arena, RuneScape. No, I don't want to play that. No. Yeah. I wanted to get... I had a good crowd of people to play Star Wars Squadrons for a while. And it is an older game, but it's being sold for $2 right now on Steam. Yeah, Yes, I played World of Warships a lot. But I had like a sponsorship. I got paid to play World of Warships on Twitch. That's how I started playing it. There was like a thing where it's like play where like Twitch. I don't know if they do it anymore because I don't really stream on Twitch anymore, but they used to give me money to stream a game for like a certain amount of time. And based on how many views I got was dependent on how much of it, like how much I would get paid. That's how I started playing World of Warships and World of Tanks. I think World of Tanks is genuinely fun. World of Tanks is pretty fun. I've played it just when I was bored, and it was a good one. I thought it was fun. But yeah, it almost would have to be a free game. Yeah, the MMORPG back in the day that everyone would play with me was Star Trek Online because it was free. It was a lot newer back then. It's pretty old now. It's a pretty old game. Oh, okay? Yeah, Squadrons is $2 right now on the Steam store, and if you have Xbox Game Pass, it's included with that. I think it's also included with whatever PlayStation's version of the Game Pass is. It's cross-platform, so you can play it from anything. I think the Switch has it too, even. But it's the dumb like May the 4th be with you thing. They're having a sale. They're having game sales everywhere right now. Yeah, $2 is, I mean, it's an older game. I think it was like $30 when it was new. It's about, I don't know, 3 to 4 years old. Let's see. It came out in 2020, so it's almost 4 years old. Is it on Switch? Let's see. Maybe it's not on Switch. No, it's not on Switch. PlayStation 4, Windows, Xbox. And that's it. I play it on Xbox, but I also have it on Steam also. But it doesn't matter because it's cross-platform. So... No, it's not a new Blockbuster. It's literally, it's kind of like those public book exchanges, like neighborhood libraries that people set up. It's just like a take one, leave one. It's just people, like neighborhoods, trading videos like DVDs and VHS tapes and that kind of shit. Yeah, right now on Steam, all the Star Wars games are, well, not all of them, but a lot of them are like super cheap for the next like 20 hours or so. Like Star Wars Battlefront, they say is usually like $40, and right now it's going for $4.79. Squadrons is $1.99. Not a sponsor, by the way. They got all these bundles too that are normally like $130 and they're like $9 right now. I was playing Star Wars The Old Republic as an MMO for a while, and that's free. Disney is paying me nothing, sadly enough. Those Lego games, which I do not like. Yeah, Fortnite, but I don't like Fortnite. Fork Knife. I don't really like it, so I wouldn't really have fun playing it. I'm not a big fan. I've played it a couple times. I've streamed it a couple times. I just don't really like it. But yeah, it's free. It's a very popular game too. Yeah. I wonder if Cobes is living back in his dad's basement. Do you think he is? Fork Knife. Those Newgrounds porn games? No, thanks. We can't do that. Let me see. Whoa. Okay. Shit. Oh well. I was going to try to log into a game, but I was having trouble with it. I don't remember my let's see. Damn, dude. Yeah. I'll have to remember how to log into this. Like, when you don't log into something in forever, you're like, oh, God, I don't remember the password for this shit. Just tried a bunch, and I'm like, doesn't seem to work. Anyway. Yeah. I think, password 123456789, and then the one of the S's is like the like double S special character. Yeah. So I think I'm probably gonna wrap this one up. You know, we met the goal. We got a little bit over. We got a little into this week's goal. So I'll see all you guys on the show tomorrow. All right. You have a good Sunday. Bye.